Alright, so we're going to continue solving absolute value. So today you'll see a couple things different than what you saw last time. So remember that we are going to get absolute value by itself. And I'm actually going to add a little part into the second step. Is it no solution? So remember that you got to get the absolute value by itself first. Is it no solution? Well, that it is if it equals a negative number. Doesn't matter what the negative number is. It could be a fraction. If it's negative, if it's whatever absolute value and then equals a negative number, then it's no solution. Okay. Then if it's not no solution, then we're going to write two equations. One positive and one negative. And then we're just going to solve the two equations. So this is a big key that we don't check for no solution until after we get the absolute value by itself. It can be negative at the beginning and it work itself out, and then you can keep going. Or it could be positive and turn to negative, and then it's no solution. Okay? So the main thing that'll be different today on some of your problems is you might see a number in the front like that. Okay. So that means 2 times the absolute value. Okay? Do not ever distribute into an absolute value. Don't distribute into, I can't spell, absolute value. Sorry about that. Absolute value. It never works. Okay? Ever, never, ever, never. Don't distribute into absolute value. Okay? If you see a number right in the front of the absolute value, you're going to divide. You're not going to do anything to the absolute value. Okay, is it no solution? No, because the 7's positive. So then we're going to write two equations. One positive, one negative. Negative 7. And then solve each of the equations separately. So minus 5, x equals 2, minus 5, x equals negative 12. Okay. So the most common mistake is people treat the absolute value like parentheses, and they distribute that 2, and they put 2x plus 10 at the beginning. That doesn't work. There is a way to do it that way, but it's much more challenging. Okay? Alright, it never So here's something to watch out for. I was going to do something different. Sorry. I'll just do it like this. Okay, so get the absolute value by itself. So I need to move that -3 that's in the front and that -4. Okay, so if you go back to the beginning of the chapter, get rid of parentheses. There aren't any. Combine like terms on the same side of the equal sign. Can't do that. Do all adding and subtracting. So I'm going to add the 4 there. Okay, and then a number in the front means multiply, so I'm going to divide. And again, notice nothing's happening to the absolute value. It's x plus 2, it's x plus 2, it's x plus 2. We're not going to, don't do anything to it. I don't care what's in there. All right, absolute value by itself, done. Is it no solution? It has to equal a negative number. That equals a negative number, so yes, it's no solution. And you're done. Okay, so you can see on this one, it started off as equals 8, positive. But in the working of the problem, it ended up being a negative. Okay. All right. It can work the other way around also. So some people look at this one and they want to say it's no solution because it equals a -10. But the steps are to get the absolute value by itself. So first, so this -2 in front means multiply, so I need to divide. And then I get a negative divided by a negative is +5. And now it'll work itself out because we got it, now it equals a positive after I do that. So I can continue and write the two equations, one +5, one -5, and then solve each one separately. So on some of your, actually all your problems today, that on the solving kind, they do have a number in the front. Okay? All right, now you're going to have to also do kind of some matching. So if I had this problem, and it's going to give you like a graph that it wants you to like determine, is this graph like the solution or a solution to this absolute value. So you're not solving it. Okay? So here's what you want to look for. First, we want to look for the opposite of whatever's on the inside of the absolute value. Okay? So what you'll see for the answer, and it'll be like in the middle, is you'll see a -3. Okay? And then what you'll also see is like, how does this 7 come into play? Okay, well, the 7 comes into play, and you'll see like something like this. And it's like on a number line, like really. So what it's saying is it wants you to go 7 spaces. So -3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 spaces. So maybe I should have drawn the thing a little bit more so it matches like that, because that's how it'll look. Okay, so if I go -3, -2, -1, like that would be 0. And way over here would be the number 4. And it'll have like a blue, I think it's even blue, like, but it'll have a dot right there. And it's saying that's an answer. If you were to actually solve the whole thing out, 4 would be an answer. Okay, and then over here, it wants you to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So let me fix that one a little bit better. So if we count it again, -3, -4, -5, -6, -7, -8, -9, -10 would be right there. So the solutions, it's not necessarily asking you the solutions, but the solution is this graph, or -10 and 4. So this is the graph of that absolute value. So first you're looking for the opposite, and then the 7 tells you how much to count, like up and down. Okay, so you'll have a section of 4 problems that'll be matching. So again, the first place you start is the opposite number that's inside the absolute value. So it's +3, you're looking for -3. If it was -5, you'd be looking for +5 in the middle. Okay? And then the number at the end, again, is how far on the number line. Okay? All right, let's see if I can squeeze in the last thing right here, because you're going to do kind of the opposite. So this picture may help. So it's going to tell you, the directions will say write an absolute value equation that has the given solution. So it's telling you the blue dots. Okay, so what if it said that the answers were going to be x equals 4 and x equals 10? Okay, so on a number line, okay, so over here I have 10, that's an answer. So that'd be like the blue dot. And then over here is +4. You know, it doesn't matter if you draw all the little marks or not. If you want to, you can. Okay, so that, you know, if you look at the line above, you know, we kind of have a similar thing going on. And so really the key question next is, what number is in the middle of 10 and 4? Or whatever, you know, the solutions are. What's right in the middle? Because you need to count, like if you look at this one above, we started at -3 and we went 7 to the right and we went 7 to the left. So you want to figure out, what's this number in the middle? What's this number going to be right here, to where I count the same number to get to 10 as I do to get to 4. So what you can do, this will work. 10 plus 4 is 14, and then divide by 2. So 7 is right there in the middle. Okay. So that means I counted 3 to get to 10 and down 3 to get to 4. Okay. So remember these, these numbers down here, the red and the green, are the important ones. Okay, so to write the equation, I need to use the 7 and the 3. Okay, so if we go back up to the one up right up above, inside the absolute value was opposite of what was on the graph. So we had positive 3 and negative 3. Now on this one, I have a 7 that's in the middle. So the equation, it needs to be the opposite. Okay, so if you look at this, it's opposite. Positive 7, so I wrote negative 7. Okay, and then how far it is to the 10 or to the 4, it's the same thing, goes right there. And that is an equation that's going to have the answers be 4 and 10. There's other equations to do that are more complicated, but I don't need to do complicated. Okay? So you've got 4 of those to do. I will tell you that the last two, 33 and 34, the answers are going to involve a decimal. So it'll be, 4.5 or 4.5, or something like that. So if you get a decimal in the last two, you should. On 31 and 32, you should not get a decimal. Okay? So I know that this is all like brand new. Re-watch this part of the video. Okay? If you don't get it, watch it again and you'll pick up on certain things as you go. Okay? Short assignment today. I think it's 11 problems. So it is a little bit more challenging, so I didn't give you as many problems to work on. Okay? But watch the video more than once. That will be helpful. Okay? It's a great resource to have the video there. All right. Good luck, guys. We'll see you tomorrow.